Want to be more creative in life? Here's 5 habits that will help you get there. Habit number 1. You need to be curious. You need to be open to exploring and looking at the world around you in new ways so that things that you're used to seeing, you start seeing in a different light. You start finding new opportunities for things that you'd already passed on, or maybe different variations. Maybe there's a new way of approaching something that you've already been looking at and working on for the past several years. Habit number 2. It needs to be meaningful to you. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It's not the kind of thing that you want to ask your friends, should I do this? Or ask your parents, do you think this is a good idea? They can't answer that for you. It's something that's inside you. That's what you need to figure out, and that's what will help you get to where you're trying to be. Habit number 3, be patient. There are things that I've been working on and developing for like the past 3 or 4 years that are barely now coming into fruition. If you're going to be creative and you're going to try and stretch bounds and go places no one else has been, or at least, at the very least, someplace you've never been, you have to give yourself time to develop the ideas that you're trying to act on. And sometimes you need to revise them. Some things you're just going to throw away. But that patience and constantly working at it will help you get there. Habit number 4, be brave enough to fail. Just because something doesn't work out right doesn't mean that it was a bad idea to begin with. Maybe you didn't execute it as well as you could have. It's a situation where if things don't work out the way you had hoped, you need to kind of look at every little aspect of it. The idea itself. Who did you show that idea to? Who was your audience? Was it the right audience that you were exposing that idea to? Or maybe the way you exposed it to that audience. And lastly, habit number 5, you have to show up. You need to figure out some kind of schedule so that you can act on the things that you're trying to work on so that you can keep developing. You need to keep at it day in and day out. That's part of being patient. It's part of the reason you need it to be meaningful so that you have some kind of payoff even as you're working on it, even as you're in the middle of the journey, you're getting something out of it. If you want to see these 5 habits in action, you can follow me on Instagram for the next 21 days and you'll see how I use fine art photography to help me shape one of the characters in the novel I'm writing while simultaneously curating for the next exhibition that I have coming up on May 22nd. This is a new way of doing things for me, and I hope you'll stick around and join me.